And you know what? Many people chant Buddha for half a day. The heart still can't calm down. The more I think about it, the more irritable I get. But what about some people? As I read it, I feel very calm. So why is that? Let's talk about this strange thing today. Following the story of Liu Jiwan and Master Liu, go have a look, the old monk of Guangqing who has been in seclusion for 30 years. What shocking secret was revealed? Let everyone's perception of chanting Buddha is just a complete change. It is said that there is a big Liu family in Jiangnan. The old man Liu Jiwan is in his 60s. There are mountains of gold and silver at home, but no sun. Old Midnight leaves early. This heart is empty. He believed in Buddha early on. Don't leave the Buddha in your mouth every day, but I just feel like I can't calm down. It's like there are countless little bugs scratching. Until one summer night with a light rain. The man who has been cleaning in the mountains for 30 years, the old monk has come down the mountain. As soon as he speaks, it has been broken for thousands of years. The mystery of chanting Buddha that plagues countless people. The secret sounds incredibly simple, but few people know. He not only revolutionized Liu Jiwan's life, it also reveals the deepest mystery of chanting Buddhism. The spring rain in Jiangnan keeps falling. Liu family mansion. In the incense burner of the temple hall, smoke. Liu Jiwan, Mr. Liu put his hands together. Namo Amitabha in his mouth. He is 65 this year. White hair. People are also thin. The wrinkles at the corners of the eyes are engraved with the vicissitudes of the years. As one of the richest business people in Jiangnan, the Liu family is a well-known name in the local area. Mr. Liu has spent most of his life. They're all crawling around in the mall. I made a lot of money. But it didn't bring him the peace he imagined. The older you get, especially after the death of a wife, he feels more and more that life is impermanent. Life is fragile. He started to convert to Buddhism 5 years ago, chanting sutras every day. I hope to find spiritual support in Buddhism. At this moment, the incense smoke curls in the temple hall. Mr. Liu recited the Buddha's name. The rosary in my hand is dialed around. Make a soft sound. But even if he persisted in chanting Buddha for so many years, my heart is still like a mess. All kinds of distractions are like countless butterflies dancing in his head. Nothing can get rid of the puller in his mouth. Amitabha's voice gradually dripped down, finally turned into a long sigh. He puts down his rosary, rubbing his sore eyes. This is the 3rd time I can't read it today. No matter how hard you try, he can't concentrate for half an hour. The irritability and emptiness in my heart linger. Let him start to doubt himself. Is it really not suitable for practice? Just as Liu Jiwan was in a daze, aged butler dress, knocking softly on the door of the temple hall. Master Chen Yuanwei is here. Liu Jiwan frowned slightly. Don't want to be disturbed, but I still tidied up my clothes. Walk out of the temple hall to meet old friends. Chen Yuanwei and Liu Jiwan are the same age, also a famous local business person. The two have known each other for many years. Deep friendship. As soon as Chen Yuanwei saw Liu Jiwan, just smile and go up and hold his hand, Lao Liu. I heard that you have been fascinated by Buddhism in recent years. Chanting Buddha all day. I'm not used to it yet. I came to see you today. Good news for you, by the way. The two sat down in the living room. The maid serves hot tea. Liu Jiwan took a sip and asked, "What good news?" I can let you Lao Chen make a trip in person. Chen Yuanwei smiled mysteriously. The flute voice said, "Did you hear? The one in the mountains. An old monk in Guangqing who has been in retreat for 30 years, recently out of customs. It is said that he has a unique insight into Buddhist chanting. Tomorrow he will start at the Lotus Temple. I've come to ask you to come with me." Lu Jiwan listened, eyes light up. Although he did not practice for a long time, but for the famous Gao in Buddhism, the monk has heard of it. The old monk of Guangqing is one of them. I heard that he realized the profound meaning of Buddhism when he was young. Later, I don't know why I suddenly closed down. Closed for 30 years. Now out of customs, there will be extraordinary insights. The old monk really left the customs. This is such an amazing opportunity. Lu Jiwan thought to himself, then nod. Let's go together tomorrow. Chen Yuanwei looked at his old friend's expression. Asked Lao Liu with concern. What have you learned about chanting Buddha in the past few years? Have you encountered any bottlenecks? I heard that you recite Buddha in the temple hall every day, but he doesn't look very happy. Lu Jiwan sighed, smiled wryly and said, don't mention it. I have been chanting Buddha for 5 years. Read every day. But I just feel impatient. Can't concentrate. It's often just a few years old. Miscellaneous years come all of a sudden. All my thoughts are gone. I even started to doubt myself. Is it really not suitable for practicing this path? Chen Yuanwei nodded. I seem to understand the troubles of an old friend. I've heard that many people have similar questions. Perhaps tomorrow the beginning of the old monk of Guangqing can give you some inspiration. The two of them chatted again. Until evening. Chen Yuanwei said goodbye and left. Lu Jiwan is standing at the door, watching an old friend's palanquin disappear into the elm. A glimmer of anticipation welled up in my heart. Maybe the old monk of Guangqing. It can really solve the doubts in his heart. The next morning, the rain stopped and the sky was clear. Lu Jiwan changed into a silent robe. Go to Lotus Temple with Chen Yuanwei. Lotus Temple is located 3 miles east of the city, built in the Tang Dynasty after thousands of years of ups and downs, still quaint and solemn. Today, because of the beginning of the old monk of Guangqing, the temple is very lively. There is an endless stream of good men and women. The quiet monastery became noisy on weekdays. Lu Jiwan and Chen Yuanwei were cited for their status. Take a seat in the front row. He looked around, and it wasn't just ordinary people. There are also many local celebrities, Shi Shen and the monks of other monasteries. It can be seen how high the reputation of the old monks in Guangqing is. Not long after, a burst of Sanskrit sounds. The hall instantly quieted down. The old monk of Guangqing was surrounded by many monks. Enter slowly. The old monk looks old, short and lean, wearing a washed white-gray monk's robe. An old cloth bag was tied around his waist. His face was thin, dark skin, like a weathered piece of old wood. But my eyes are bright. It seems to be able to read people's hearts. When Liu Jiwan first saw the old monk, for a while, this seemingly ordinary old monk, but it gives people an unfathomable feeling, as if there was some invisible force in him. You can't help but get angry, respectful. The old monk sat on the throne and looked around at the crowd. His gaze seemed to briefly touch Lu Jiwan's. Make Lu Jiwan's heart hot. Then the old monk started the day. Amitabha, good faith. Lao Nak Guangqing just came back from the deep mountain retreat. 30 years is like a dream. Fleeting. Although the old monk's voice is not loud, but the words are clear, spread throughout the hall. People in the last row could hear it. Today, I would like to share something with you. The experience of chanting Buddhism, Dharma, known as the life-saving straw in the Mexican era, simple and easy. Everyone can fix. However, most people practice Buddhism for many years. It doesn't really work. Still uneasy at the end. Unable to live happily. Why is that? This question just hit the heart of Liu Jiwan. He sat up straight. Listen with rapt attention. The old monk went on to say that the problem is, most people don't understand the true method of chanting Buddhism. They think that chanting Buddha is just mouth. Chant Rammer, Amitabha. The more Liu Zihongling reads, the better. Little do they know that the true recitation of Buddha is not about quality. In the mindset, it is not seeking outside. And in my own experience, Liu Jiwan heard this. Heart move. He always thought that the more he recited, the better. I never thought there was any special way to chant Buddha. The so-called chanting Buddha, in fact, it is to make our hearts imprinted with the Buddha's heart. Unity with Buddha. The old monk's gaze swept across the crowd. It's as if I can see everyone's thoughts. It's like two mirrors facing each other. Reflect each other. Bright, endless. However, most people's hearts are like the mirror of a blind minister, unable to reflect Buddha's light. To polish this mirror, you must understand the true method of chanting Buddhism. Next, the old monk. Explain in detail several taboos and methods of chanting Buddha. Special emphasis is placed on the 6 tongues, the importance of drinking incense. He said that when reciting Buddha, you should devote yourself to it. Eyes on Buddha statue. Ears listen to Buddha. Thinking about the merits of Buddha, so as to achieve physical and mental unity. Induction with Buddha. These teachings are for Liu Jiwan. It was an epiphany. He always thought that chanting Buddha was just reciting from the mouth. I never wanted to be so dedicated. No wonder he's still impatient after 5 years of studying. The original method was simply wrong. The beginning is about to end. The old monk said something. If everyone present is shocked by it, it is difficult to understand this method of chanting Buddha. Everyone who knows is wrong. This sentence is like a heavy hammer knock on Liu Jiwan's heart, and it dawned on him. It turns out that my practice has been ineffective for so many years just because I don't understand the correct way. Start after end. The crowd got up to pray. Thank you to the old monk for his teachings. Liu Jiwan knelt on the ground, hands together, a heart full of gratitude and admiration. He decided that he must find an opportunity to present himself to the public, ask the old monk for advice. However, when he looked up, the old monk is already in the cluster of sentient beings, embraced and left the hall. Liu Jiwan is a little disappointed. He had to leave the dead plane with Chun Yuanwei. On the way home, Liu Jiwan was silent. I keep thinking back to the beginning of the old monk in my mind. Chun Yuanwei saw through his heart. Speaking of Lao Liu, it seems that you are very touched by the beginning of the old monk. Liu Jiwan nodded. I have been chanting for many years, but I never thought there was a special way. The old monk's words made me suddenly realize it's just a pity that I couldn't ask in person. I don't know when I will see the old monk again. Genuine filial piety. It is said that the old monk is living in the Lotus Temple today. If you really want to ask, it's not too late to visit tomorrow. Lu Jiwan is overjoyed, then I will go tomorrow. The next morning, Lu Jiwan went to the Lotus Temple alone. I hoped to meet the old monk of Guangqing. However, when he arrived, but was told that the old monk had left, it is said that he went to a Maoan study in the south of the city. Lu Jiwan is a little disappointed, but didn't give up. He asked around. Finally, I learned the exact location of Maoan. Decided to visit. Maoan is located on a hill 10 miles south of the city. Quiet environment, away from the hustle and bustle. Lu Jiwan took a lot of effort to find it. I saw that it was an extremely simple thatched hut. A few vegetables are planted in a small clearing in front of the house. Next to a stone well, there are a few old clothes that have been washed and dried. Lu Zan walked into Maoan, kissed the door, but no one answered. He opened the door tentatively, and they found the house empty. It seems that the old monk is out. Lu Jiwan is a little disappointed, but decided to wait again. He sat down on a stone bench in front of the hut. Be patient. Time goes by minute. The sun is setting. Twilight dead river. Just as Lu Jiwan was considering whether to go home, on the mountain road in the distance, a small figure appeared. As the figure approaches, Lu Jiwan recognized that it was the old monk of Guangqing. The old monk holds a bamboo staff. Walks steadily. He was not surprised to see Lu Jiwan. As if I had expected visitors. Amitabha. The layman came from afar. Thank you. The old monk performed a standard Buddhist ritual. Lu Jiwan quickly got up and saluted back. Disciple Lu Jiwan had the privilege of listening to the master yesterday, starting to benefit a lot. I'm here to ask for advice today. Hope the mage does not order guidance. The old monk smiled and nodded. Since it is destined, please enter Maosha medicine. The interior of the cottage is simple and simple, except for a simple wooden bed, a low table and 2 futons. Hardly any other furniture. The old monk invited Lu Jiwan, sitting on one of the futons. You're sitting on the other side. 2 people sitting face to face. What questions do you have? But it's okay to say. The old monk's voice was peaceful and kind. Lu Jiwan organized the language. Respectfully say the mage. The disciple has been chanting Buddha for 5 years. Daily bird surprise, but I always feel impatient. Difficulty focusing. I heard the mage talk yesterday. It is said that the Buddhist man does not understand this method. Everyone who knows is wrong. Disciples benefit a lot, but there's still a lot of confusion. I wonder if the mage can give detailed instructions. What is the true method of chanting Buddha? The old monk looked at Lu Jiwan quietly. Eyes as clear as water. You can read people's hearts. Worldwide practice. What are the enemies of chanting Buddha? Lu Jiwan answered without thinking. Nature seeks rebirth in the Western paradise. Eternal escape from the suffering of samsara. So, lay Buddhists believe that where is the Western Elysium? The old monk asked the question again. Let Lu Jiwan stop the rain for a while. According to the scriptures, Buddha said that the Western paradise, beyond 10 trillion Buddha lands, But what exactly is that concept? He can't imagine. See Lu Jiuan silent. The old monk smiled faintly. Lay people don't have to rush back. Let me tell you a story. The old monk arrived slowly. Once upon a time, there was an emperor. I miss my beloved daughter who married in another country very much. One day he ordered someone to build one in the palace. A palace exactly like the palace where my daughter is located. I found another appearance with my daughter. Palace maids with very similar bodies pretend to be princesses. The emperor would visit this fake palace every day. Chat with the fake princess. It's as if I'm really getting along with AI new. Time goes by. The emperor gradually forgot that it was fake. Think it's true. I thought my daughter had come back. Until one day, the real princess suddenly returns home to visit relatives. The emperor couldn't recognize his own daughter. Instead, I think that the palace maid is the real princess. Finish the story. The old monk asked the layman what he thought. What is the problem with the emperor? Lu Jiuan thought for a moment. Answer. The emperor was obsessed with his imaginary daughter image. Instead, I can't recognize the real daughter. The old monk nodded. Exactly. Many people chant Buddha in the same way, obsessed with what is described in the scriptures, the external image of Western illusion. Thought it was far away. You need to recite Buddha constantly to get there. Little do they know that Elysium is not far away. And in my heart, mood is soil. When your heart is as clean as a mirror. Elysium is right in front of you. Lu Jiuan nodded thoughtfully. Ask again. How can I make my heart as quiet as a mirror? The old monk explained that chanting Buddhism has a mouth. Viewing different levels such as Shi Xianyan. Most people stop at the oral stage. I thought the more I read, the better. But true chanting, it's about moving from the mouth to the heart. Elevate from thoughts to 10 misses. The so-called Shixiang chanting Buddha is to directly ascend to the inherent Buddha nature of the mind, corresponding to the great vow of Amitabha. The old monk's words are profound, but Lu Jiuan felt that they pointed directly to his heart. Let him vaguely touch. Unknown realm. Mage, how can disciple Ying practice to achieve this state? Lu Jiuan asked urgently. The old monk smiled. The boulder wants to repair the stone statue and chant Buddha. You can start with being famous and chanting Buddha. But there is a key to grasp. When chanting Buddha, you should clearly ask yourself who is chanting Buddha. By this rhetorical question, draw attention away from the name itself. Turn to the heart that can read. Finally realized, the mind that can read and the Buddha that you read are one. Inseparable. Lu Jiuan nodded with a vague understanding. This method was very different from his previous practice of chanting Buddha. He needs time to understand and practice. When a mage disciple practices chanting Buddha, frequent delusions, difficulty focusing, how to confront. Lu Jiuan asked again. The old monk looked at him kindly. Delusion is human nature. Don't resist too much. If delusions arise while chanting Buddha, don't fight it. Don't follow. Just gently draw your attention back to the symbol. It's like seeing the scenery by the side of the road. After taking a look, he turned his head and continued on his way. Over time, delusions naturally decrease. Liu Jiwan suddenly realized, I see. Disciples used to fight delusion. Instead, the more you fight, it's really the wrong way. It's getting late. The old monk looked out the window at the dark sky. It's getting late. The layman should go home. The old man has an obligation to give, hope to be able to practice in the living room. The old monk took a scroll from under his pillow. Hand both hands respectfully to Liu Jiwan. This is what Lao Na wrote when he was in retreat. It's called the Buddha chanting diagram. Looking at the room daily viewing or attention. Liu Jiwan took the scroll. Spread your fingertips carefully. It's a picture of a serene old man. Close your eyes and palms. With a smile. Seems to be chanting Buddha. Who is chanting Buddha in the upper right corner of the painting? It's much more powerful. After writing the mage, Liu Jiwan's respectful monk scroll is collected in his arms. The old monk sent Liu Jiwan to the door. Finally, tell to remember. The Buddhist man is unsure of this method. Everyone who knows is wrong. If a layman can practice this, must succeed. Liu Jiwan is a mile deep. Reluctantly left Maoan. Go home. Liu Jiwan immediately took the picture of chanting Buddha, hanging in the middle of the temple hall, facing the position where you usually recite Buddha. The next morning, he followed the instructions of the old monk. Start trying new ways of chanting Buddha. He first made a moment of respect to calm his mind. Then look at the Buddha picture. Visualize yourself as the old man in the painting, calmly reciting the Buddha's name. Then he began to chant in a low voice Namo Amitabha. At the same time, I silently asked myself who is chanting Buddha. And it wasn't easy at first. Liu Jiwan discovered own attention. It's easy to be pulled away by all kinds of delusions, not thinking about family background, just worry about health, or just reminiscing. But he remembered the teachings of the old monk. Don't fight delusion. Just gently draw your attention back to the Buddha's name. With whom is the issue of chanting Buddha? Day after day, Liu Jiwan insists on this practice method. To his surprise, the delusion did subside. When I recite Buddha, my heart becomes more and more stable. Sometimes he could chant for 2 hours straight. Peace of mind. It's as if the whole person is bathed in a kind of front, unprecedented need, in peace and joy. 1 month later, Liu Jiwan went to Maoan again. Hope to show the old monk of Guangqing, report on your spiritual progress, and ask more in-depth questions. However, when he arrived, but found that Maoan was empty, the old monk disappeared. Disappointed, Liu Jiwan found a letter in Maoan. His name was written on the letter. He eagerly opened the letter. I saw that Luyuru was written in the letter. The road to spiritual practice lies in perseverance. The old man has set off for another place. It's all natural. Chanting Buddhism. The key lies in who is chanting the 4 characters of Buddha. If you can never forget this question, it will take a long time. Self-awareness. Remember that the difficulty in reciting Buddha is not knowing this method. Everyone who knows understands. May the layman realize his rebirth as soon as possible. Achievement. Flowers bloom to see Buddha. Guangqing old monk came out of retreat. He is an official Buddhist man who comprehends. If you don't know this method, everyone who knows it is wrong. The true chanting of Buddha is not chanting in the mouth. It's a thought. It's not about quantity. It's about the quality. It's not about form. I think about myself. When the mindful mind and the recited Buddha are integrated, when the Buddhist chanter and the Buddhist name are no longer separated, when every Buddhist call flows out of confidence, that's the real Buddha chanting. From that day on, Lu Jiwan's path of practice, something fundamental has happened. The teachings of the old monk in Guangqing are like a beacon, illuminated his way. Although the old monk has left, but it took root in Lu Jiwan's heart, guiding his every step of his practice. Go home. Lu Jiwan's letter to the old monk. Keep it carefully. Treasure. Whenever he encounters difficulties or doubts in his practice, we'll take out the letter and reread it. Draw strength and wisdom from it. According to the guidance of the old monk, Lu Jiwan adjusted his method of chanting Buddhism. He stopped looking for numbers, no more mechanical chanting. They immerse themselves in each symbol. At the same time, I silently ask in my heart who is chanting Buddha. By this means, he's trying to find his true self. The one who is aware of everything, awakening unmoved by everything. The first few months, Liu Jiwan will still encounter various obstacles. Sometimes delusions come in like a tide, make him unable to focus, sometimes drowsy like a mountain. The pressure made him unable to lift his spirits, and sometimes he will doubt himself. Is it on the right path? Is it really possible to achieve liberation through chanting Buddha? But every time these thoughts arise, Lu Jiwan will remember the words of the old monk in Guangqing. Delusion is human nature. Don't resist too much. If delusions arise while chanting Buddha, don't fight it. Don't follow. Just gently draw your attention back to the Buddha's name. So he learned to live in peace with his heart. No longer resist, no longer forced, just gentle and firm. Guide your attention back to the Buddha's name and the fundamental question, who's chanting? Gradually, Lu Jiwan found that his heart was becoming more and more stable. I miss less and less. When chanting Buddha, he could feel an unprecedented sense of peace. Peace and joy. As if the whole, everyone is bathed in the loving light of Amitabha Buddha. And here's what's amazing. And this feeling is not limited to the moment of chanting, but gradually extended into his daily life. Even when dealing with family affairs, talk to business partners, or just take a walk in the garden, Lu Jiwan can maintain a quiet state of mind, as if there were an observer, watching all this in silence. Participate in it without being moved by it. This is what the old monk called the mindful mind. Is it a state of integration with the Buddha you are reciting? Lu Jiwan couldn't help but think. This transformation is also noticed by those around. The servants at home discovered the Lord has become more gentle and kind. Stop getting angry over small things. Business people who do business with Lu Jui was surprised to find the old business person becoming wiser and more fair in negotiations. Neither covet small profits nor give in easily. When Chen Yuanwei visited again, he was surprised to say that Lao Lu, you have changed. Although you used to believe in Buddhism and recite Buddhism, but it always gives people a feeling of anxiety. And now looking at you, it's like looking at a clear lake. It calms the mind." Lu Jiwan smiled. "This is the teaching of the old monk of Gongqing. He taught me the true method of chanting Buddhism. Not chanting. It's a thought in the heart, not a lot of hexagrams. It's about quality, not about form. I think about myself." Chen Yuanwei asked curiously, "Is this method special? Can you teach me?" Lu Jiwan readily agreed. The method of teaching the old monk in detail. Tell it to Chen Yuanwei. Chen Yuanwei finished listening, also decided to try this method. He visited often after that. Chanting with Lu Jiwan. Exchange experience. Lu Jiwan is not stingy with his own experience. He took the teachings of the old monk, imparted to the hearts of many who came to ask for advice. Gradually, under his influence, a small Buddhist community has formed in the city. Members meet regularly, chanting together, exchange practice experience. One morning a year later, when Liu Ji-yuan recited the Buddha in the temple hall, and suddenly there was an amazing experience. He felt his body become pure and transparent, as if no longer bound by the material world. All the Buddha statues around, the candles and incense burners have become exceptionally clear and bright, exuding a soft light. And here's what's amazing. He feels his heart, fully integrated with Amitabha's heart. There is no longer the concept of I am chanting Buddha, only pure awareness and compassion. I don't know how long this went on. When Lu Jiwan came to his senses, I found it was noon outside. And he didn't even realize it. I chanted Buddha for a full 6 hours. That was never going to happen. This experience let Lu Jiwan strengthen his confidence in cultivation. He realized that what the old monk said about being able to read, integrate with the Buddha you recite, it's not an empty theory, but can to the realm of true experience through practice. However, just as Lu Jiwan's practice was getting better and better, a bad news came that the old monk of Guanqing passed away. It is said that the old monk summoned his disciples on a moonlit night. Leave a legacy, then paint peacefully. There is such a sentence in the ruins. Those who know. Heart Buddha Fate 11 are all delusions. This news made Lu Jiwan extremely sad. Although he only had a few acquaintances with the old monk, but the teachings of the old monk, but it completely changed his life. In sorrow, Lu Jiwan decided to go to the place where the old monk originated, a small temple called Jingxin Temple. Last prayer for the old monk. Jingxin Temple is located among the mountains. Quiet environment, away from the hustle and bustle. When Li Jiyuan arrived, the pursuit of the old monks of Guanqing is being held in the temple. Idea. Monks and devotees from all over the world filled the hall. Everyone chanted the name of Amitabha in unison. The scene is solemn and solemn. After the puja, the presiding monk announced, according to the last wish of the old monk in Guanqing, his mantle and some of the manuscripts, he will give it to his disciples and laymen who are destined for him. To Liu Jiwan's surprise, his name is also on the list of recipients. The presiding monk handed a small burden to Lu Jiwan. Say, This is what the master specially asked to leave for you before his death. He said you are a man of wisdom. To really understand his teachings, Lu Jiyuan excitedly took over the burden. Open it carefully. There are 2 things in it: a handwritten book of Buddhist chants and a portrait. The portrait is a self-portrait of an old monk in Guangqing. The old monk in the painting sits on the lotus platform. Kind face, with a smile. Right index finger clears temple. Seems to remind the viewer who is chanting Buddha. There is a little poem inscribed in the upper right corner of the painting. No thought at all. Heart Buddha Fate 11, if you ask who is reciting. See the real Buddha now. It's a poem that goes to the heart of the mystery of chanting. Lu Jiyuan was deeply touched. And that book of chanting Buddha is even more precious. It records in detail the old monks of Guangqing, years of practice and experience, the priceless treasure he left to posterity. Lu Jiyuan brought these 2 treasures home. Treasure. He hung the portrait in the center of the temple hall, replaced the original chanting Buddha picture, and recite the Buddha to realize it became his daily guide. According to the method of chanting Buddha, Lu Jiyuan's practice has become more diligent. The book details how to learn from beginners, methods of entry to advanced practice, as well as possible obstacles and methods of confrontation. It seems that the old monk of Guangqing met Lu Jiyuan. Every problem you may encounter on the way to practice, prepared the answer for him in advance, under the guidance of chanting Buddha. Lu Jiyuan's cultivation realm continues to improve. He gradually realized the purpose of chanting Buddha, not just for rebirth in Elysium. It is to recognize confidence in the moment. When generated for a long time, recognize your true nature. 3 years later, Chen Yuanwei became seriously ill and bedridden. Lu Jiyuan went to visit, found that my old friend was frail, but mentally stable. There was no fear of death. Chen Yuanwei smiled and said to Lu Jiyuan, "Old Liu, thanks to the method of chanting Buddha you taught, I have benefited a lot over the years. Although he is seriously ill now, but there is peace in my heart. No fear at all. I can feel Amitabha by my side, waiting to take me back to the Western paradise." A week later, Chen Yuanwei's family and friends chanted Buddha, died peacefully. The people gathered by the bed said, "He was smiling before he died. It was like seeing something beautiful." The last sentence is that Amitabha has come. It's time I left. Rebirth beyond the dust. Let Lu Jiyuan be both sad and relieved. Sad to have lost a friend for many years. Thankfully, old friends can live in peace. This is where the scholars of chanting Buddhism come in. He strengthened his resolve to promote this method. Hope to help more people to achieve inner peace and liberation. Lu Jiyuan began to establish a Buddhist prayer hall in his home. Regularly invite those who are destined to recite Buddha together. He took the teachings of the old monks of Guangqing and the method of reciting Buddha to become aware. Unselfishly impart to everyone who comes to ask for advice. I hope more people can benefit from it. In the process, Lu Jiyuan gradually discovered different people chant Buddha. There are different levels of understanding and acceptance. Some people are quick to grasp. Who is reciting the deep meaning of Buddha quickly enter the state. Some people have difficulties. We need more guidance and assistance. Targeting different people. Lu Ji-yuan will take a different approach to teaching. As the old monk of Guangqing said in reciting Buddha, although the teaching method is all one, drinks are sparse. Stress social education, Fang Weishan Bridge. As we age, Lu Ji-yuan's body gradually weakened, but his spirit grew brighter and brighter. At the age of 80, he is at home. A small Buddhist dojo was established. It's called meditation, specially used for co-cultivation and dissemination. Every week dozens of people come to participate in the practice. Listen to the beginning of Lu Ji-yuan. His start was straightforward. I always focus on chanting Funen and then I don't know this method. Everyone who knows is mistaken about this core expansion. He told everyone, true chanting is not about doing things. It's about mindset, not about dictation. And in the mind, it is not seeking outside. And in my own experience, chanting Buddha is like looking in a mirror. Lu Jiunchang's metaphor. Mirrors can reflect everything. But if it sinks, can't respond clearly. The process of chanting Buddha is the process of wiping the state of mind. When the mind is completely clean, the merciful light of Amitabha Buddha will naturally reflect it. This vivid metaphor. It made a lot of people feel enlightened. Understand the true meaning of chanting Buddha. One winter day at the age of 85, Lu Ji-yuan is meditating on the economic and social position. After the crowd started, suddenly said that my mission has been completed. It's time to meet the old monk of Guangqing. And everybody's looking at him with surprise. I don't understand the meaning of this sentence. I saw Liu Ji-yuan explain with a smile. Guangqing old monk taught me the Buddhist method back then. Let me benefit immensely. Now I have passed on this method to you. I hope you can also pass him on to more destined people. My mission is done. You can leave in peace. Hear this. Only then did everyone understand that Lu Ji-yuan wanted to know the truth. Ready to die. They were so sad. They asked him to stay longer and continue. Know that everyone practices. Lu Ji-yuan shook his head gently. Come and go. Can pass on the teachings of the old monks of Guangqing. I am satisfied. You just remember, Nanfanern is unsure of this method. Everyone who knows understands. As long as you master the right method, everyone can achieve. Then Liu Ji-yuan told his family to prepare for the funeral and wrote a sacrifice. Searching for a home for 70 years, an epiphany. It turns out that the Buddha Dharman temple, everyone who knows is a relic. The old monk of Guangqing began to be compassionate. I pass this on to you today. May the Dharma continue forever. Federation of Pure Lands. Finish writing stepson. Liu helped arrange for the portrait of the old monk in Guangqing to be sent, and the secret of chanting Buddha to the most capable disciples. Instruct them to take good care of the inheritance. 3 days later in the morning, Lu Ji-yuan bathed and changed clothes and then went to Jingxin Economic Society. Sitting on the Lotus Hall, he said to the surrounding disciples, "It's time I left. You wish for me." His disciples surrounded him in tears, chanting Namo Amitabha in unison. Lu Ji-yuan closes his eyes, hands together, mouth with a smile. It feels like listening to a beautiful piece of music. After a certain god of cookery, Lu Ji-yuan gently exhaled his last breath. died peacefully. The wonderful thing is, his body did not immediately become cold. It's about keeping warm. Serene face, like falling asleep. According to Liu Jiuan's dying wish, his remains, it was placed in front of the Buddha statue of the Meditation Sutra. The disciples continued to recite the Buddha for 7 days and
Help
7
him
nights.
remember.
When the disciples replaced his veterinarian 7 days later, I was surprised to find that his body was still soft. No signs of corruption. And it exudes a strange aroma. Filled the entire landscape. This miracle, it shocked everyone there. It has strengthened my confidence in chanting Buddhism. According to Liu Jiuan's last wish, his body was cremated. The ashes are partially scattered into the river and returned to nature, and some of it is relic. It is placed in the stupa of the Meditation Sutra. For posterity, Liu Jiuan's online news, it quickly spread throughout the region, aroused widespread attention and admiration. Many people who have never met him also come to meditate and scare the snake flat dick, hoping to take inspiration from his century. The disciples shared the life and practice experience of Liu Jiuan, organized into a book named Liu Jushi Nanfa Road, widely circulated. In the years following Liu Jiuan's death, meditation developed into a local, one of the most important Buddhist nunneries, attracting more and more people come to learn and practice. But here's the thing. Liu Jiuan's legendary method of chanting Buddha, the way of emphasizing who is chanting the Buddha, it is also being accepted and practiced by more and more people, helped countless people achieve inner peace, stillness, and liberation. Some people say that when meditating and startling snakes and chanting Buddha, I can hear Liu Jiuan's voice in my ears. Gently remind, who is chanting Buddha? This simple but profound question, like a key, open the door to inner peace. After 10 years, Liu Jiuan's chief disciple also enjoyed the rebirth in peace with the sound of chanting Buddha. Before dying, he told the surrounding disciples, "I saw Teacher Liu and Monk Guanqingbao come and greet me together. They stand on golden lotus flowers, waved to me with a smile." This scene made everyone present. We were so relieved and so excited. As the old monk of Guanqing said back then, Nanfanern is unsure of this method. Everyone who knows is wrong. Liu Jiuan knows. Chen Ming got it. And now more and more people are getting it. As time goes by, the story of Liu Jiuan and the old monk of Guanqing, gradually integrated into the local cultural traditions, become the talk of the people after dinner. But more importantly, the way they teach Buddhism, practiced by generations of practitioners, nuclear inheritance has become the inner peace of countless people. Quiet and liberated straight man. In the hall of meditation, the portrait of the old monk of Guanqing still hangs today. The old monk in the painting still use your index finger to clear the temple. It seems to remind everyone who comes to worship, who is chanting Buddha. And below the portrait, it is the sentence that Liu Jiuan said most often during his lifetime. The Buddhist man is unsure of this method. Everyone who knows understands. Every time a newcomer comes to meditation society, veteran practitioners always tell them, Guanqing old monk, the story of Liu Jiuan. And that's seemingly simple, but it contains a profound way of chanting Buddha. Then they will teach new people how to ask yourself who is chanting Buddha when chanting Buddha. Guide them to gradually understand. The mind that can read and the Buddha that you read are one, inseparable. In this way, the teachings of the old monks in Guangqing, passed down through Liu Jiwan, influenced generations after generations. People are starting to understand. Chanting Buddha is more than just a form. It is a kind of inner awakening and return. Just as the old monk Guangqing came out of retreat, learned, Nyanfanun is unknown. This method, everyone who knows understands. And this method is simple. When chanting Buddha, ask who is chanting Buddha. By this rhetorical question, draw attention away from the symbol itself. Turn to the heart that can read. Finally realized, the mind that can read and the Buddha that you read are one, inseparable. When you really understand this, chanting Buddha is no longer an external form. It is the natural expression of the Buddha nature of the inner drama. This is the support of the old monk and Liu Guangqing, the most precious gift left to future generations, a key to inner peace and liberation. And this key, hidden in that seemingly simple question, who is chanting Buddha? The enlightenment gained from 30 years of retreat on the Beio River in Guangqing through Liu Jiwan's practice and inheritance, now it has become a treasure in the Pure Land Dharma. The method of chanting Buddha seems simple. It's really mysterious. The key lies in knowing who is chanting Buddha. When the mindful mind and the recited Buddha are integrated, new Buddha Fuji, confidence Amitabha naturally appears. Liu supported a lifetime of practicing this method. Peace in the afterlife is the best proof. Today's sharing is here. Through Liu's support and the story of Guangqing old monk, we can see the true meaning of chanting Buddha. It's not just reciting the Buddha's name. It is to find the fit in the heart of the Buddha's heart. When we can truly ask ourselves who is chanting Buddha, you can touch that inner peace and awareness. Wish you every day, filled with the light and tranquility of Buddhism. Amitabha.